After using Zwift Run on treadmills in gyms and hotels, I finally have a treadmill here in a Lama Lab. So today I'll take you through my Zwift Run setup and the MyRUN from TechnoGym. In a previous video a few months back, I've covered everything you need to know to get up and running on Zwift. I'll link below to that video, but today it's about my setup here, what I've chosen to go with, the process of choosing what to go with, and getting it all configured and up and running. The longest part of this process was choosing which treadmill to go with. Unlike smart trainers for bikes, which are relatively new and few and far between, treadmills are everywhere. There are hundreds of different types, different models, different brands, different makes. There's also hundreds of shapes and sizes. Now, the emphasis being on sizes. Some of these things are absolute monsters. So my treadmill choosing checklist was as follows. First of all, budget. Home treadmills can be anywhere between 500 and 5,000. That's Australian dollars, convert for your local market, but there's a big spread there of what to choose for the home market, even further for commercial versions of treadmills that you see in gyms and hotels. The size, length and width based on the space I have available here, but also size for the user. If I was 6'6", I'd need a different size treadmill than if I was only a 5-foot runner. So that had to be taken into consideration. I'm average, 5'10", 5'11", so I was okay with mid-range, mid-size. Specifications of the unit I was looking into, so maximum speed, incline, control interface, wireless broadcast standards to connect to Zwift or to whatever I needed to connect to. And the final checklist item for me was brand. So having good warranty, good backup after-sales service, maybe an installation option as well, but just not being stuck with a cheap, broken treadmill with no spare parts. So brand was important. Something that wasn't important for me was the ability to program workouts into the unit itself. I'll be using Zwift for pace runs with pace bots, group runs, or workout intervals using Zwift Run Workout. Over the past few weeks, I've sent a few emails and browsed a few forums about treadmills, asking people the pros and cons of what they've gone with, what's important to them, and how they've found their units. One of the emails I sent out was to TechnoGym Australia, just inquiring about their MyRUN unit. I'd seen their unit over at Zwift Run, the Zwift Run launch in New York. It was a very minimal unit, very compact. It seemed to tick all the boxes. When the specs of that unit are, it's relatively compact, 20 kilometers an hour max speed. It has a 12% incline, large horsepower motor. It had a minimal interface. It wasn't a mission control from NASA. Some of these treadmills out there look like you could land something on the moon, maybe even Mars, with the amount of buttons and controls. The MyRUN is very, very minimal. But the only hurdle was the price of the MyRUN units, $5,000 Australian. It is in the stratosphere of premium home experience. So when TechnoGym offered a loaner device, of course I had to take them up on the offer. So this isn't my treadmill, it's a loaner that I have to give it a run for its money. TechnoGym proudly state a 5-minute setup time, which is only a drop in the ocean because it takes usually a few months to decide what to go with anyway. But 5-minute setup time, I decided to put them to the sword once I had everything set up, just like in their video in front of me here. Let's see how I went. 5 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Your timer is set for 5 minutes.
Anyway. So super close there, only a few seconds off what they claimed. I'm sure if I was to do it again, I could do that in about 4.5 minutes. So quite impressive to set up, but as I've mentioned, that's not really where all the time is spent. It's in researching and working out which one to buy and how you're going to get it installed here. Definitely a two-person job. This thing weighs around 92 kilos. So a big thanks to Veronica for helping me get this, well, I'd call it a baby hippo, installed here in the Lama Lab. A quick overview of the unit functionality. There's two paddles on the front here, one for up and down on incline and one for up and down on speed. It's really that simple. The front panel itself has time, incline, distance, speed and pace, but look, Zwift tracks all of those apart from incline, so they're pretty much ignored as I'm looking up the road and running on Zwift. Oh, the drink holders are a bonus as well. A quick overview of my Zwift Run station setup here is a 40-inch LCD connected via HDMI to AppleTV 4K, which is perfect for Zwift Run because the limitation of two Bluetooth devices, all we need is the treadmill or foot pod and heart rate, and you're sorted. Oh, and a fan as well. Full specs are in the detailed manual here, but just as an overview of the size of the unit, it's 1760 millimeters long, 69 inches, and 790 millimeters wide, 31 inches, so quite a small footprint. Don't let the price tag of this one scare you though. You do not need to go to the premium level like this one is here. You can go something a lot cheaper, even a $500 treadmill, and using something like a foot pod. I have a Milestone Stride foot pod with power as well. Even something like the Ticker X or Ticker Run will do the trick. There's even another device that sits on the treadmill and measures belt speed, so anything can work with Zwift. Watch for that coming soon, but for now, it's time for me to jump on and do my first 5K. Wish me luck. And then it's time for a ride. Okay, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more Zwift Run. I'll mark these as Zwift Run in their own little playlist as well. So if you're just a pure hardcore cyclist, you can jump over these. If you're interested in both, they'll be all down below. Thanks for watching.